You know, I've been covering physical media for a long time at this point, and it always sucks when you have a disappointing complete set that just decides to reuse the old existing discs, which means things are out of order, the video quality sucks, you get duplicate versions of things within the same set, and it seems like the only effort that went in was the packaging. And that happened again, except somehow this one was worse because it took 2 tries to get up to that level of quality.
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and on today's video we're talking about a long-awaited complete series DVD set of a classic show that really needed a new release and people have been demanding it. That's the Ben 10 set. Oh god. So it's always fun on this channel when I get to talk about a really good home video release, like a discotheque thing, because I don't really have to complain too much. It's solid, it's great, and there's only maybe some minor quibbles. Then there's sets like the Ben 10 Complete Collection, where I have to talk about the history of how they released it because it's only passable on the second printing. Oh boy. Okay, so let's get into it. We have a ton to talk about. There is the history of the set. Why did it have to get a second version? What is included? What is not included? What is on the actual disc? How much of it is reuse? How much of it is new? And I'm going to go through all of it. I want this to be the most complete video about this DVD set out there, so that way people understand what exactly this is, as opposed to what exactly the packaging advertises it as. And that's also why I waited to talk about it until this corrected version came out, because again, I want to make this a one-stop shop for information. If you like that sort of video, hit the like button, lets me know, lets YouTube know you enjoyed this, gets this out to more people, and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future physical media release videos, whether they're reviews or otherwise. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about, but let's start with context. What is Ben 10? Go watch my viewing guide. Like, seriously, it's not super long. You will get the entire context of what Ben 10 is. The entire franchise is covered in that. Go watch that if you don't know what Ben 10 is, or if you just enjoy Ben 10 videos, then come back to this one, because I'm not going to talk about what the show is, because I've already done that, and this has so much to talk about just as a release that we really don't have time to cover context. So we're going to have to start with the history of the Ben 10 Complete Collection prior to talking about the release itself. So for several months, there was rumors, speculations, listings that a complete Ben 10 original franchise collection was releasing on DVD, which was very exciting for a lot of people because we've never had the option to get Ben 10, Ben 10 Alien Force, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, and Ben 10 Omniverse in a complete set. And in particular, the excitement was for Omniverse because Omniverse's original DVD release never finished the show. It only covered 40 of the 80 episodes of that series. So there'd never been any complete sets, and putting it all together in one big box set seemed like a slam dunk win for Warner Brothers. Well, unfortunately, that's not exactly how it played out. So on the packaging, before the set release, the packaging did advertise that it contains more than 200 episodes, plus special features and 2 movies. And people who got the set initially had noticed that on the inner cases, it mentioned Ben 10 having 49 episodes, that's correct. Alien Force having 46, also correct. Ultimate Alien having 52, correct, and then Omniverse having 80, which is great because that's what we were missing from the previous DVD sets. Then when people actually got the set and started digging into the discs, there was the discovery that this is all reused from the original volume releases back when the shows were airing, which means Omniverse was missing 40 episodes, which that means that's false advertising to say it had 80. That's a major, major, major issue. And Warner Home Video did address it, which we're really glad for because that doesn't always happen. But I think they were kind of worried that the fact they did have false advertising. So a lot of people contacted Warner Home Video, and also stores like Amazon and Walmart took down their listings for the set because of how many complaints they were getting, how many returns they're probably getting, and also the reviews were saying, this has not got what was advertised. It was kind of a big blow-up disaster, and I got to experience it through the internet because I was on vacation at the time. The fun part about this was coming back to basically seeing the fire of, oh my god, the Ben 10 set is missing 40 episodes. which was later addressed in some emails to some customers saying that it was a manufacturing error and that they would be putting out a corrected set in September of 2025. And that's when I put plans for this video on hold until then. Because if they're going to address it and they're going to fix it, I want to address the fixed version of it. I want to review the set fairly, because if they're going to fix it, let's let them fix it. Though, as a lot of people said, how do you miss 40 episodes as a manufacturing error? I think what ultimately ended up happening, because of the cuts that David Zaslav did to the physical media side of Warner Brothers, Warner Archive is still in really good shape with a really team of passionate people. But from what I understand, Warner Home Video is very much a bare bones skeleton crew-like department. And I think the people in charge of doing the set did not realize that the prior volume releases did not complete Omniverse. The first 3 shows were complete, so why not Omniverse? A question we asked back in the day when the show was coming out on DVD initially. So because of that, I could imagine there was maybe an assumption made that, oh, if you just reprint the old discs, we're good to go, because we don't have that big of a budget for this anyways. But no checking was done, no confirmation, and then it went out to fans, and that's when the backlash came in. This is why I always say for companies, if you're going to announce a release, announce it ahead of time of production, so that way you can get feedback from your customer base, especially in something as niche as physical media. You want to get feedback from your customer base, so that way if you've missed something and they tell you about it and it's something you can put on the set, you have that opportunity to do so. That's just a business thing that I think that more companies should adopt. So, what happened next? After months of waiting and no notice from Warner Home Video or no follow-up, fans started to receive their new, updated editions of Ben 10 in the mail, and several retailers listed a new edition shipping September 9th. Now, here's the good thing. Amazon, for example, took down the old Ben 10 listing and only put up the new listing. So if you buy it from the new listing, you know it's the new set. It's a completely separate page from the other. I had them in my wish list so I could keep track of them, and they did put a new page up for the new Ben 10 set. The other good thing is the barcode is now different. For the new set, the barcode is different. Thanks to Ben 10 News on Twitter for putting up this nice graphic. So if you're finding this thing in a store, in a Walmart or something, check the barcode to make sure you get the new set that actually has all the episodes. Because that is the good news of the revised set. They did put those 40 missing episodes back in by including 4 extra discs that weren't there originally. And now we get to talk about the set fairly. We get to go through the contents of it and analyze it from a fair perspective of this is the version that Warner Brothers has corrected and has put out on the market as the set they want to produce. This is now the set that I can critique based on the fact that this is the corrected, revised version. So with that said, at time of upload, the set came out yesterday. This is going to be a full deep dive into the new Ben 10 collection. And let's find out if it was worth all that hassle, and is it still a set worth getting? Because, oh boy, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this collection.
With a device that he wears on his arm, he can change his shape and save the world from harm.
Alright, so let's talk about this set's contents. First of all, before we get to the packaging, let's talk about what's not included, right? Because it does include more than 200 episodes plus special features and 2 movies. Yes, it does contain all of that. It does contain the entirety of Ben 10, Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse. It does not contain any episodes of the Ben 10 reboot. That would have to be its own complete set. Once again, episodes were not complete in its volume release, so that would take a little bit of work. The other thing not included in this set is the classic era shorts. For the first Ben 10 series, there was 9 shorts produced, 8 during the show, 1 during the Destroy All Aliens movie. None of those are included, which is a bummer. That would have been a nice little bonus thing to include. Even back in the day, those should have been included, but sadly none of that. The other thing is, Race Against Time and Alien Swarm, the live-action movies for the first 2 shows, also not included. Not exactly sure why. This set's doing a ton of reuse, and it's got room on the spindles. They just didn't include the 2 live-action movies. So you're going to have to track down the older releases for those. If you care about them, I know continuity canon is a bit of a debate, but still could have been included, I think. It also does not contain the Generator Rex crossover that happened during Ultimate Alien, because officially those are 2 episodes of Season 3 of Generator Rex, and Generator Rex is in tax write-off limbo at Warner Brothers, not to be released again, so they did not throw those in as a bonus. Again, if it was on the old DVDs, it might have made it over, but it wasn't, so alas, we don't have that. That does mean Omniverse is probably the most complete out of all of these when you think about it, which is crazy considering the first printing. So let's talk about the packaging, because the packaging is the first thing that struck a lot of people as like, oh, that's new. It's new-ish. I mean, all the art assets are reused. They're just promotional art from the shows, from their posters and stuff. So it's not like it's new, but it is a new presentation. I think it's a great presentation, having been in all of his main forms for the 4 shows. I think it's great. Kind of a simple, like, white background, but I think it works quite well. I think the spine is really good, having you know, the main Ben 10 logo, but then the logos of all the shows there. It's simplistic, but I think it works. Same with the top here. Top 5 follows that same design scheme. On the bottom, absolutely nothing. And then on the spines here for the individual cases, you can see Ben 10, Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, Omniverse. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. On the back, of course, we have a screenshot from each show. I think it's funny, the Ultimate Alien screenshot was from the first episode, which he uses Humungosaur, which is an Alien Force alien, so it doesn't really scream, you know, Ultimate Alien. But, you know, I think all of these are from their first episodes, possibly. A quick little, like, bio thing here, and then it mentions that it comes with Secret of the Omnitrix and Destroy All Aliens. That Secret of the Omnitrix part is going to be a fun one to talk about. And there's also some, like, general stuff, you know, English is, you know, it's English Audio 2.0, subtitles, English for hearing impaired, except for Ben 10 seasons 1 to 3. And English for Ben 10 seasons 1 to 3, because they didn't have hearing impaired subtitles, they just had English subtitles, and that's pretty much it on that. But yeah, like I said, it is in 2 cases here, so this is the slip box. Let's look at the cases themselves. There's no art on the inside, but it's a sturdy box. So these are packed in epic packs, which means you have stacked discs, but the cover art, once again, carries forward from the same style of the front, but you can see Ben 10, Alien Force, spine as well. On the back, of course, you've got Ben 10, you know, series episodes 49, Ben 10 Alien Force, series episodes 46, and you can see they reused the same screenshots from the back, and then they added 3 new screenshots, right? We got Alien Force Ben meeting Heat Blast, you got Alien Force Kevin and Ben with the Spider Monkey alien, and then you have a shot from the reboot. Wow, okay, so there just was like no oversight on anything for this set. Yeah, that's not from either show. It's not from anything that's in the set. That is from the Ben 10 reboot series. That's not included. And then packaging-wise over here, you got Ultimate Alien, you got Omniverse. I think that looks pretty good on the back. You can see it also includes the 2 movies in this case. But you can see, yeah, 52 and 80. And that's why the 80 thing was what pretty much got in trouble. Because if they hadn't put that, they wouldn't have, you know, people would have been like, there's 40 episodes missing, but there wasn't anything advertising it, whereas this advertised it, which means I think they really thought it was on there. Also, for some reason, Galactic Monsters gets a special call-out, and that is also a weird thing about it. So the way we're going to handle this, because there was a lot of DVDs included, we're going to talk about these show by show, but as a broad overview of the discs, this is what they look like. Everything is color-coded per show. So Ben 10's in green, Alien Force is in blue, and then over here, Ultimate Alien is in dark green, and then Omniverse is in a middle green between the original show and the Ultimate Alien color. Not exactly sure why Alien Force is blue at that point, but then I look at the bottom here and I'm like, oh, yeah, they just used 3 shades of green and then Alien Force is blue. Whatever it is. Now, don't be fooled, because they do have new disc art, for is a consistent disc art to it, which I think is nice. These are not new discs. All of these discs, minus the last 4 Omniverse discs, all reskins of existing DVDs from the volume releases. So, here's how we're going to handle this. So, first of all, there is a pro to reusing the old discs. It means we didn't lose any bonus features. That's kind of like the best part about it, because sometimes when you get a new printing of an older show, they leave bonus features out. So we did keep all the bonus features. That's pretty good. On the cons, there's a lot of video issues with those old discs, and the episode orders are out of whack. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to break it down show by show. I'm going to talk about the Ben 10 DVDs, talk about the Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, Omniverse. There will be chapter times for those wanting to jump ahead, but this is how we're going to break it down. I'm going to talk about the episode orders, I'm going to talk about the contents on every disc, and it's going to be a little rapid fire, but let's talk about these in a more specific capacity, because I think that's kind of important context for those that may not be aware of how the old DVDs were. So, of course, we're going to start with Ben 10. All right, so let's look at Ben 10. Before we look at the discs themselves, let's look at the actual disc art. So disc 1 here has Stinkfly on it. Disc 2 has Accelerate. These two discs are reprints of the Ben 10 Season 1 DVD collection, which contained the first season of the show. Then we have discs 3 and 4. Disc 3 has Forearms on it, and disc 4 has Heat Blast on it, and that is the Season 2 DVDs. Next up, we have discs 5 and 6, which are here. We've got Diamond Head on 5. We've got Ripjaws on 6. This is also a test of me remembering alien names. I'm probably going to forget a few of them. But this is the Season 3 DVDs. And then on Season 4, we have disc 7 with Gray Matter and disc 8 with Wild Mutt. So here's the thing about Season 4. Season 4 contains Secret of the Omnitrix on its second disc. Now, interestingly enough, the set does advertise Secret of the Omnitrix included. Secret of the Omnitrix is a movie for the original Ben 10 show. But they didn't put it right there. They put it all the way over here in the Omniverse case, behind these two discs of Omniverse. That's where you got Secret of the Omnitrix. And they actually reskinned Secret of the Omnitrix, and that looks like reboot Vilgax on there, not original Vilgax. Whoops. And then Destroy All Aliens, which is another movie for the original Ben 10 series, seems to be reusing similar disc art to the original release, but it is a new skin. It's just weird they didn't put like Way Big on there or something. But the two movies are all the way over in the middle of the Omniverse discs, as opposed to being with the Ben 10 discs. Personally speaking, I'm going to be reorganizing these cases a little bit to fit these in. Plus, eventually, they're in a box somewhere. The 2 live action movies are going to get added. But as it is, it's in the middle of Omniverse is where the 2 movies are, because these were supposed to be the last 2 discs of the set originally, because there's your extra 4 discs of Omniverse. So organizational note there. So I have created a PDF document that lists the intended order, the air date order, the title, and then the order it appears on the DVD volume, and like what title of the volume, and then what order it appears in the complete collection. If you want access to this document, it will be in my Discord server in the guides and checklists section. So come join. If you can't find it, ask around. The community is really welcoming in that sense. So join the Discord server. You can get the document nice and easy. I'm going to make it available to people because it is, I think, kind of essential if you want to watch the show in order. The DVD set doesn't do it, but I did the research and the work to figure it out. That being said, all things considered, if we're looking at, everything's in order here, right? The air date's just for context. If you're looking at order-wise, it's actually not too bad. The original Ben 10 show, you can see Season 2 got a little messy, but for the most part, everything's roughly in order until you get to the end. They kind of reorder like what the actual final episode is. I'm going with the intended final episode being Goodbye and Good Riddance. And then, like I mentioned, all of the shorts are missing. They don't have any DVD release, and then the movies. So it's all here, but for the most part, if you watch the Ben 10 original series on DVD, it's a lot more episodic of a show. So if you just watch it in DVD straight, you're going to be fine. But it is a little bit lacking when it comes to being the proper order, but it's not too bad. So let's take a look at the discs themselves and find out what's on each of them. All right, so here we have Ben 10 Disc 1. Once again, it's reusing the existing Season 1 Disc 1, which is not too bad. Now, there is one issue with the original Ben 10 series on DVD, which, is kind of a product of its time. It's one of those things that could have been corrected, which is that the series is presented exclusively in the 4:3 square aspect ratio. Now, why is this an issue? Well, when the show aired, it was a digital produced show that was at the cusp of HD television. And like a lot of other shows have gotten from Warner Brothers, there seems to be a possibility that this could have been released in 16:9, and certain digital versions of the show have done so. As you can see, by the way, the first disc has 7 episodes on it. This show could have been released in 16:9, technically. And it would have been nice. It would have been a nice upgrade to have seen at least the widescreen version, because as is, it is still the squared version. They animated a lot of these things in 16:9, and they were cropped for TV broadcast, so it would have been nice to have seen the original versions presented. Otherwise, though, how is the video quality? Being a DVD from 2006, video quality is perfectly fine. Would it be better as a Blu-ray? Absolutely. Could it be a whole lot worse? Oh, 100% it could be worse. This is definitely a passable presentation of this version of the show. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave it at that. Let's get to the contents of the rest of the discs. All right, here we have disc 2. Real quick, let's just check the episodes. Like I said, the first disc had 7 episodes. This will have episodes 8 through 13 of season 1, which again are mostly in order. But you can see, yeah, we got 7 on one, 6 on the other. This is pretty common practice back in the day. There are special features though. Let's look at those real quick. The special features are actually kind of cool because these are things that wouldn't get produced nowadays. So we've got a Ben 10 drawing lesson, we've got a commentary of secrets, and then a sneak peek of what's to come. I believe is just a preview of season 2, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm remembering from back, yeah, this is a preview of season 2. So yeah, you got some cool bonus features. I think the commentary in particular is a nice inclusion to have. By the way, each of these classic Ben 10 DVDs, they open up with this cool little animation of the Omnitrix powering up and all that. So here we are in disc 3, season 2, disc 1. Once again, this disc is just episodes, but you can see the menu's a little different. It is kind of nice. If this was a new print set, it would not have the cool animated menus. I will at least give that, but it would have been nice to have the episodes upgraded. That being said, these actually included deleted scenes, which was really cool because there was some stuff cut from broadcast for time, and they did include these on these DVDs. In fact, outside of the cropping issue of their presented in 4x3 and 16x9, the original Ben 10 DVD set is actually really good. Those volumes managed to pack in a lot of features, which we wouldn't see going forward. It only pretty much happened to this version of the show. All right, disc 4, which contains the rest of season 2. Once again, the cool animated menus. These also, once again, have bonus features, or deleted scenes, I mean. There is bonus features as well, but the deleted scenes are included. And I do like that the deleted scenes are on the menu with the episodes. Kind of nice way to keep track of all of it. But yeah, of course, we've got the deleted scenes. And then the episodes, there's a ton of deleted scenes for Back with a Vengeance. That's a lot. So that's pretty cool as well. Special feature for this disc is how to draw Heat Blast. We got secret alien info and an audio commentary on Ghost Freaked Out. All right, we're rolling along with disc 5, which is season 3, disc 1, reskinned, as we've been talking about. Once again, got deleted scenes on these episodes, which is pretty cool to see. I like that they've kept everything. That is, you know, I've said it before, but it is nice that we do have this stuff that was already there. All right, disc 6, season 3, disc 2. Once again, we're checking the episodes first, just to see what is on here. This is a fun season because they brought in kind of these classic monsters. Like I like Ben Wolf and Ben Mummy and Brent Frankenstein or whatever they called him. It was a fun season for sure. Bonus features a little bit of a downgrade. It's just a character gallery and some promos. All right, disc 7, aka season 4, disc 1. The season 4 set, the animations are gone. They're just straight. This was the case in the old day too. They took the animations out because this disc actually packs in all 10 episodes of season 4 onto one DVD. Let's check the video quality just for funsies here. Might as well since we're here. Was it taking a hit? It took a bit of a hit. Cramming 10 episodes on a DVD in 2006, not so doable. A little easier nowadays. We got some more options, but that looks a little rough around the edges. Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Now, the reason they crammed 10 episodes onto Disc 1 of Season 4 is because Disc 2 of Season 4, or Disc 8 in this set, just has special features. Really weird setup here. This contains Secret of the Omnitrix. Now, Secret of the Omnitrix was originally a 3-parter that was turned into a TV movie. There are 3 versions, technically 4, of Secret of the Omnitrix. So there is the red, the blue, the gold, and then the bonus trivia version. The trivia version is pop-up trivia, which appears on the movie. Let's give an example here just for the sake of the audience so you all know what we're talking about. But basically, as the movie is playing, as things are going on, they'll have these little pop-up trivia boxes to say, hey, you know, Tetrax is part of a small band of alien fighters dedicated to stopping Vilgax at all costs. That's information you would get if you watch the show, but it's a neat little trivia thing. Now, why is it called red, blue, and gold? Well, there's 3 different versions to the opening scene of the movie with different aliens. So, for example, the red version features Heat Blast as the alien that Ben chose to come save his grandpa and Gwen. Version blue is where he picked Accelerate to come save them. And version gold is where he picked Eye-Guy to come save them. So the interesting part is this actually is the debut of Eye-Guy, an alien that wouldn't reappear again till much later in the franchise. So it was kind of like his major appearance. I think he showed up once in season 4, after or before this, depending on your continuity. But he was not a very high frequency alien appearance. But yeah, there was 3 versions, red, blue, gold, and they aired differently on TV. So the nice part is that they did include all 3 versions on this season 4 disc 2, plus the trivia version on the red version. The red version is officially the default version, but those are all included, which is great. And by reusing the old discs, it does mean we have all the versions of Secret of the Omnitrix. Plus, there's deleted scenes for Secret of the Omnitrix on this same disc, which also include episodes from Season 4's deleted scenes. So you have a pretty good set here. Season 4, between Disc 1 and Disc 2, you have all the episodes of the season, all the versions of Secret of the Omnitrix. It's great. Now, if you're a viewer who doesn't know what's going on, you're probably like, wait, didn't you say there was a Secret of the Omnitrix disc included in this DVD set? Yes, I did. For no reason, there is one. So why the hell is there a Secret of the Omnitrix separate DVD? It just proves that there was no oversight and no consideration taken. It was just reskin all the old stuff we got and put it back out. Because Secret of the Omnitrix came out on DVD as a Walmart exclusive release prior to the Season 4 DVD set. So basically the idea was that the retail release was the Season 4 release, where this was kind of getting it out there earlier than that Season 4 set. As when I was collecting the DVDs originally in the old volumes, I did buy this because I thought that's how we're getting Secret of the Omnitrix, and was bummed out when it only included one version. Because yes, this only includes one version of the movie, which is the red version with Heat Blast. You can see that this is the Heat Blast version of the movie. There is absolutely zero reason to include this. There is no point in including this disc. It's a complete waste of every resource to include a separate Secret of the Omnitrix when you included Season 4 Disc 2 that has everything on it. There's no reason for this. Also, it's a DVD plus RW. Where is that indicator? Actually, it's here when I hit play. You see that there? See, it's a DVD plus RW. This is a recordable disc. This is not even like a pressed disc. What the hell was the point of including this? And our last disc for the original Ben 10 series is the Destroy All Aliens movie. This was produced many years after the original series had wrapped, but it was a throwback to that point in time. It was done entirely in CGI. Let's take a look to see how this looks. It's encouraging. It's in 16:9. This is the same exact disc, by the way, as the original Destroy All Aliens single disc release. It is in 16:9, but you can see the fuzz. It's like the Cartoon Network logo is even fuzzier. So I'm not gonna pass judgment because this is an old DVD that's been reskinned, but this don't look good. This should have gotten a Blu-ray even back when it came out, and it's crustier. Like the 2D animation, you can low-res 2D animation a lot easier than 3D animation. If this thing was produced in HD, should have been released in HD because my goodness, it does not look great. By the way, I wanted to prove that wasn't a Dragon Ball green tint situation. That scene was intentionally green. Anyways, let's move on to Alien Force. Alright, let's talk about Alien Force. Alien Force being the second series, it was a big deal. Alien Force's original DVD release was not season sets like the first Ben 10 show, and instead were volumes. So each disc kind of correlates to a volume. So for example, disc 1 here with Echo Echo, that's volume 1. Disc 2 with Humongosaur, that is volume 2. So disc 3 with Alien X, that's volume 3. So that's kind of like the straightforwardness of this. You also notice that, like I said, there's extra room because there's only one disc on that spindle. You could add another one. So you've got Spider Monkey and you've got Chromostone. Wow, we actually could fit 2, 4, 6. You could fit 7 more discs into this if you wanted. But anyways, disc 6, Big Chill. Disc 7 is Brainstorm. Swamp Fire, and on 8, and then 9 has Goop. So it's pretty easy to correlate this to the original releases. In terms of episode order, it's mostly straightforward. It's a more serialized show. There's a couple episodes out of place in Season 1, and then you get down to Season 2, Season 3, depending on how you look at it. It actually is mostly in order. I think there's 3 or 4 episodes out of order, but for the most part, it's in order. You could just watch it straight. I think you'd be totally fine. Alright, here's the Alien Force DVDs. First things first, the Alien Force DVDs for the first 3 volumes are in 4:3 when they should have been in 16:9. That is an issue because also this is a DVD RW as well. Some of these are pressed, releases, and some of these are recordable discs. Huh. Okay, that's a new issue to add to the list that I wasn't aware of until I was doing a disc-by-disc breakdown. Now I'm glad I did. Anyways, as you can see, Alien Force here is presented in 4:3, not the 16:9 that it was produced in. Another thing to note with Alien Force, you can notice how frickin' dark the show is. A lot of the backgrounds are washed out, the characters are barely visible, and for a lot of years, people thought this was a budget constriction, that they didn't have time to work on backgrounds. Well, a later, more HD version of the show was uploaded by other CN affiliates, Cartoon Network affiliates around the world, and we found out that no, it wasn't supposed to look like that. They just darkened it for whatever reason. The DVDs featured this darker version, whereas the other broadcasts featured this lighter version. That would have been another great correction to put onto this set that ultimately didn't happen. For bonus features on Volume 1, it is a trivia quiz. That's it. Alright, Volume 2, just like Volume 1, the episodes are in 4x3 instead of 16x9. This also only contains 4 episodes. This was frustrating at the time. It was like, why can't we just get season sets? Bonus features on Volume 2 simply contains a DNA of a scene. It's a breakdown of a scene construction. Alright, Disc 3, Volume 3. Here are the episodes. Only 4 of them to finish out the season. And then, of course, we do have a bonus feature, because that's kind of what they did back then, which is a villains database. So starting with Volume 4, the episodes are in 16x9, as they should have been this entire time, so that is a good correction. Once again, though, if you may notice by that banner popping up, that's when my Blu-ray player detects that you're using a recordable disc. It's yet another recordable disc. Also, the presentation is a little bit brighter going forward, but it's still kind of darkened over what it should be. It's just how the way the show was produced and released. But it is at least in 16x9 now, so that is an upgrade. Again, this is applying to the old release as well as the new release. Also, no bonus features, just a sneak peek. Alright, Volume 5, just pretty much same thing that we've been looking at so far. You know, just a couple more episodes. And then, of course, extras. Ooh, what's in extras? Is it something exciting? It's an Alien Swarm live-action movie sneak peek. All right, let's go. Volume 6. Those are the episodes. And it has an Alien Database bonus feature. All right, Disc 7, mini design has changed. A little fancier now. They did that annoying thing where they included episodes of the show as bonus episodes. It's not bonus episodes. That's just a 7-episode set. I'm flustered. I hated this practice, and it'll run into this issue again. Special features are these Alien Database profiles. Alright, Disc 8. I gotta say, this new menu design was really, really cool. Once again, it's not a bonus episode if it's just part of the episode order. Special feature is, once again, Alien Profiles. Alright, last disc of Alien Force, best menu so far out of all of these. Hey look, a bonus episode's actually a bonus. The first episode of Ultimate Alien. Yes, that means in the overall collection sense, you get Ultimate Alien's first episode twice. And the special feature is just more profiles. On to Ultimate Alien. So now we're on to Ultimate Alien. Now, Ultimate Alien went back to a 2-disc season-esque format. It was basically each set contained 10 episodes, and they were 2-disc sets. So the first one was numbered Volume 1, the rest had names. So let's start here. Disc 1 and 2, which is got Ultimate Humongosaur, and you've got that guy. Wow, yep, forgetting names already, but long video. Anyways, these 2 discs are the Volume 1 Return of a Gregor DVD set. Disc 3 and 4 are reprinting, that's actually funny, Cannonbolt, that's his first appearance on a disc, is all the way in Ultimate Alien. Disc 3 and 4 relates to the Power Struggle DVD set. Disc 5 and 6 here, which you can see Nanomech, even though his debut in the Alien Swarm movie is included. But anyways, 5 and 6 relates to Return of Heat Blast. And then we've got 7 and 8. 7 and 8 relate to the Wild Truth volume, which we've got there, which 9 and 10 correlate to the Ultimate Ending, which Ultimate Ending is kind of a funny ending because, you know, there's a whole 80-episode show after this, but it did sort of feel like an ending at the time. So 10 discs for Ultimate Alien, but how are the episode orders in terms of accuracy? Well, honestly, not too bad. From what I noticed, I think that pretty much the entirety of Ultimate Alien is in order. I think there was like, yeah, episode 31 and 32 swap places, but that's it. Like, out of all of them, this is the most in order. You could absolutely watch this on DVD totally fine. You're probably like, why'd you make a whole spreadsheet? Well, we'll talk about that with Omniverse. But first, let's take a look at the contents of the Ultimate Alien set. All right, on to Ultimate Alien Volume 1, Disc 1, or Disc 1. This was kind of going back to the 5 episodes per disc and 10 episodes for a set. Video presentation, once again, is totally fine for a DVD. Would have been greater as a Blu-ray, yada yada. We've already said that. All right, Disc 2, we're using the same art from the first disc. Here are the episodes on Disc 2. There actually is special features this time, so let's take a look at those. Hey, look at that! Making of the Ben 10 Ultimate Alien video game in an Ultimate Alien database. Fun. All right, here is disc 3, new menu design for a new volume. Once again, 5 episodes on the disc. All right, disc 4, here's the episodes. 16 through 20 of what they call 16 through 20. And the special features, an Ultimate Alien database. All right, disc 5, let's go. Disc 5 has 5 episodes on it. All right, disc 6. There's 5 episodes on disc 6. Disc 6 is a DVD RW. It's not a pressed disc. I don't know why. That seems like a manufacturing error to me. I couldn't give you an explanation on that one. Special features, an Alien database. Disc 7. It has a little bit more than 5 episodes on it. That's different. Ultimate Alien Disc 8. 5 episodes on this one. Bonus feature is Alien Profiles. And for some reason, this is a recordable, rewritable disc as opposed to a pressed disc. That makes 4, or is it 5 now? Ultimate Alien Disc 9. It's 5 episodes. This is pretty standard stuff. All right, Disc 10, last disc for Ultimate Alien. There's the rest of the episodes. And once again, it is a recordable, writable, non-pressed disc, but a recordable disc. I gotta assume that's a QC error. I don't think that was intentional. And once again, the only bonus feature is Alien Profiles. On to the mess that is Omniverse. And now we've come to the big one, Omniverse. So, Omniverse, like I said, reprinted discs. So these first discs are reprinted. Those 2 movies have nothing to do with Omniverse. These are the new discs. But let's go through and break it down. So first things first, we have Omniverse Disc 1 and Disc 2. These discs correlate to the Volume 1 DVD set for Omniverse, which is good. We have Disc 3 and 4, which correlate to the Omniverse Volume 2 set, which is also good. So you see you got that, 3 and 4. 5 and 6, of course, will relate to the Volume 3. Now, each of these volumes was 10 episodes, and so it seemed like 8 volumes would cover it. However, Warner Home Video did something funky. They started screwing it up. All right, so this is a problem dating back. The next disc in the set is Galactic Monsters. However, that should be after disc number 7. In fact, it should be numbered disc 8, and it's not, for no reason. They, for some reason, kept the branding of Galactic Monsters. So, for example, disc 7 relates to the Duel of the Duplicates volume, which contains 5 out of the 10 episodes from season 4. Then you have Galactic Monsters, which also contains 5 out of 10 episodes for season 5, and that was titled Galactic Monsters. I have zero idea why Galactic Monsters isn't just labeled Disc 8. In fact, if you keep it in the order of the set, you're supposed to watch this first before this, but that doesn't make any sense according to the episode order. So I have no idea why they did it this way. They didn't fix it on the correction either, so I guess that's what they intended. All right, then we get to the new discs. So all the new discs contain episodes that were never previously on DVD. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't this guy already on an Ultimate Alien disc? But anyways, there's disc 8. And these discs, hey look, there's Cannonbolt again. 2 reused aliens, disc 8 and 9. These contain 10 episodes apiece on a single DVD, but we'll talk about the quality in a minute. And then here's disc 10 with Ben and disc 11 with that dude. These all contain 10 episodes apiece, bare bones menu. They are just episodes in order, or in an order, I should say, straight ahead. So that's how they did it. Basically, the set had always contained up through, this is like where the original set stopped. The reprint set with the correction added these 4 DVDs. I'm glad they added them because now we have all the episodes. Now, in terms of actually watching Omniverse, how does it go on the set? Well, here's the thing. Because we're reusing discs, we're going back to initial problems. So you can see here that, episodes 1 to 3 are in order, but then episodes 4 and 5 are on disc 2. And then episode 6 is actually episode 4 on disc 1. And you know what? I'm just going to scroll, and you guys can see from your viewing perspective how it gets completely chaotic. If you talk about just the first 3 volumes, you've got sets from volume 3 that are season 2 episodes and season 3 episodes over there. And also, if you look at the air date order, It's also a mess because of the way the show is produced. They just kind of aired when things were ready. So the correct order is a bit of a impossibility. You also have, of course, like all these extra gaps coming in because there's the 5 episodes that were missing from season 4 and the 5 episodes missing from season 5. And then that whole chunk of seasons 6, 7, and 8 that were never released prior to the new set. Adding to this as well, I will give them credit. At least I think it's the last 20 episodes or so. It's actually episodes 13 through 40 of the 40 missing episodes. Those at least are in order. I'll give them that. They got some of it in order. But if you're wanting to watch Omniverse, yeah, go join the Discord and get the document. It's a little bit of a mess as is. But let's take a look at the contents of the discs themselves. All right, a new beginning with Omniverse Disc 1. So what do we got here? Episodes, let's check it, let's look at it. It's 5 episodes. How does the video quality look? Son of a gun. It is yet another recordable, writable disc, not a pressed disc. Why are there so many of these? I thought it was just a fluke early on. Now we're hitting into, there's few too many of these. This is weird to me. Video quality-wise on Omniverse, I mean, just like all the others, could have been HD, could have looked better. It looks totally fine. It's got the alien reveal shorts for the new aliens. That's a pretty cool bonus. All right, disc 2. This is a pressed disc. I already checked. We're good to go. 5 more episodes on this one. Special feature is alien database profiles. All right, Omniverse Disc 3, also known as Heroes Rise Disc 1. It's 5 more episodes of the show. Bonus feature is more alien reveal shorts. All right, Disc 4, Heroes Rise Disc 2. 5 more episodes of the show, and alien profiles. All right, Disc 5, Aliens at War Disc 1. Here's 5 more episodes, and wouldn't you know it, we yet again have another recordable disc, not a press disc. This is too many of this time to be happening. QC error, intentional weirdness, whatever it is, that is happening too often. All of these should be pressed DVDs. None of these should be recordable discs, and yet there are several that are, and we're not even done yet. Also, what a surprise, more alien database entries. Disc number 6, 5 more episodes. Once again, a DVD RW instead of a DVD video press disc. No bonus features, not even alien database. They had given up by this point. All right, disc 7, which is reskinned from the Duel the Duplicates volume release. It is a DVD RW once again. The menu is annoyingly broke down into the Albedo story, which is the 3 episodes of the Albedo story. And then you have to go back, and then it's like bonus episodes, and it's 2 episodes of the show. That's it on this one. And the recordable disc thing is bugging the crap out of me, because this is a professionally released product, and it does not say that there's recordable discs. And recordable discs are not as sturdy as regular discs. That's an issue. Video quality-wise is going to be about the same, but the actual sturdiness of the discs over time, not great. All right, Galactic Monsters disc, once again not rebranded. Once again a DVD RW. The fact that most of Omniverse is an RW at this point, really bad. Really not great. The episodes included, there's 3 of them, which are the Galactic Monsters episodes, and then you have to go all the way back to the menu to go to the bonus episodes to get 2 more episodes. Why did they do it like this? All right, Omniverse's 9th disc, titled Disc 8, the first of the new discs that were part of the reprint of the set. Luckily is on DVD video and not RW, that's nice. And this is the menu. It's bare bones, it's a single image, it just says play all episodes, languages. I think if you go to languages, it doesn't even give you much, just audio. It's just like, do you want your hearing impaired closed captioning? Episodes, there are 10 episodes per disc, like I mentioned. As you can see, it's just straight list, 1 to 10. They actually number them 1 to 10, and the next disc picks up from 11. Quick quality check, just a vibe check on how it looks. The closed captioning are on by default, which is funny. I don't exactly know why. You can turn them on or off. They do turn off. They're not stuck, but by default, closed captioning is on. That's lovely. Quality-wise, it's pretty much the same as the rest of the sets. There's nothing like horrible about it. It just looks pretty much similar. Maybe a little crunchier here or there, but for the most part, it's going to look as fine as it's going to get. This is the best we're getting, I guess, which is not amazing. It's not amazing, but it exists. All right, Disc 9, it is a DVD video, and it is 10 more episodes, same exact menu design. As you can see, it's just 10 more episodes. It's marked 11 through 20. They made sure to let us know there is 40 more episodes, and it looks about the same, sounds about the same. It's the same. All right, disc 10, same menu. Let's go to the episodes. It's 21 through 30. It's pretty straightforward at this point. It is a DVD video. Disc 11, final disc. Here's the episodes. It's 31 to 40. At least some of these are in order. DVD video. So all the new discs are DVD video. I have no idea why there were so many discs on DVD RW. If that's a manufacturing error, like that's a legit manufacturing error at that point. I don't know what to cause it. The overall set, these final disc, it does show this is not a priority for Warner Home Video. This was not something that got a budget. This is not something that got a major deal put into it. At least we got all the episodes. This is a very disappointing set. Disappointing to outright bad set. That's kind of how I feel. Let's talk about if you should buy it, though. So when all is said and done, do I recommend the Ben 10 Complete Collection? The thing that's an issue with this set is the fact that they did not do any additional work on it. So if you're trying to watch the show as presented, with all those episodes out of order as they are, it's a little bit of a mess, but that's something you can adjust and correct for. Because now that they've gone and added in those 40 missing episodes, every episode of the show is included. We're still missing the live action movies, we're still missing the shorts, but every other episode is included. So you do have a pretty substantial box set. This is like, 220 something episodes. So it is, pretty good price value. I think most stores are selling it for about $75 now. That's not too bad for what you get. The bummer part is the fact that this didn't have any corrections to the aspect ratio. It did not have any corrections to the episode order. It did not feel like it had a full budget, and pretty much the packaging art, which is mostly recycled artwork anyways, is all the budget it had. But I am grateful that Warner Home Video actually did address the missing 40 episodes, and they managed to put those into the set, because that means that we do have at least a complete set. And ultimately, it does kind of suck that I say all this about Ben 10 mere months after I said all of this about the Ninja Turtles 1987 set from Paramount that was just a reprint of the Lionsgate set that also had episodes out of order and was just reusing old discs and had duplicate content. These are like two birds of the same feather, or they're two sides of the same coin. It's just sucks that a franchise that does have legs and lasting power couldn't get something better. One of the biggest bummers as well, this is a show that's produced with digital animation, just like Teen Titans and the Batman. Those got Blu-ray releases that were nice improvements. They fixed the aspect ratios on them. They look great. The Batman was missing its movie that still hasn't come out yet. Teen Titans at least had hits. These shows look great on Blu-ray. This show, the whole franchise could look great on Blu-ray, and the discount would have been like half of this or less. That was a bummer they didn't go for Blu-ray. But in terms of should you get this, if you're a Ben 10 fan who wants a complete Omniverse, who wants to have just two thick cases versus all those volumes, yeah, it is worth picking up for that. But, again, I hope I provide enough context to know you're not getting something spectacular. The set overall, will I say the set is bad? Yeah, in the objective sense, it's a bad set. In the subjective sense of a Ben 10 fan, it is nice to at least have all of it in one spot, even if you're going to have to bounce discs back and forth to get it in the right order. So ultimately, that's my conclusion on this. Make your own decisions at the end of the day. If you're holding out for a Blu-ray, I wouldn't. If they were going to do a Blu-ray, if they were going to put a lot of effort and energy and time and resources into a Ben 10 set, they would have done it with this. And the fact that they didn't, and they kind of went with the slapdash approach of just reusing what existed and only getting those last 40 in after fan backlash, I'm ultimately going to say this set did not have a priority at Warner Brothers, so they're not going to be doing a Blu-ray set anytime in our lifetimes at this point. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it was informative. If I missed anything, if I got anything wrong, leave corrections down in the comments. I'll put like a corrections pinned post if I got a bunch of stuff wrong. I try to keep on top of things, but I'm an imperfect human being at the end of the day. I can't get everything exactly right. So if I miss anything, let me know. Also be sure to subscribe and the notification bell, as well as hit the like button while you're down there if you haven't already. Really do appreciate that. Makes the whole effort of all this worth it. Also be sure to check out our Discord server in the link below. You can come join, hang out, talk about stuff. Also be sure to check out the channel memberships. Those help support the channel directly. I really do appreciate those. Keeps us going, keeps us afloat. So let's give some special shout outs to our channel members. Special shout out to all of our channel members, including Captain Tier, Spin-54, MasterBen95, Forever1000, Super Shaddix Boom, Mr. Smelly Potato, James Abel, Jamie's World, Veloquince, Rabbitman, Daniel Evans, Zizu426, Common Pikachu, John Troutman, Spidey Brian, Fernando Perea, Smotlock, Lord Tapman, Henry G, Caro, Gang1, Sebastian Travez. Thank you all for your support, both viewers and members alike. If you so wish, I'm on social media at Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Soundout12. You can find my wonderful graphic designer who helped me out with notes on this, DarkClaw643, on social media and Discord. You can also find Hero Club at HeroesClub.com for entertainment, interviews, news, and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, let's see if we can get a complete set of a classic show that doesn't have all these problems.